Well, on a day when Prime Minister Narendra Modi completes a month in office, he has blogged to thank his supporters and the people of the country. Let's quickly quote for you some of the excerpts from that blog by the Prime Minister. He has said a big challenge that we were facing in Delhi was to convey to some people about our intentions and sincerity to bring positive change in this country. Well, these are people who are both within and outside the government system. There have been some instances in the last month with which our government had nothing to do, yet these controversies have persisted. All right, for more on this, let me just quickly go across to our National Affairs editor, Javed Ansari, who's now joining us. Javed, as we had earlier discussed, there have been several hits and misses if you look at the first 30 days of Narendra Modi government. But the Prime Minister here is making mention of certain instances where he said his government had nothing to do, but had come in for criticism. What exactly do you think he's talking about?
Well, perhaps one of them could have been these incidents that have been taking place in the country. Then is the question of this unnecessary debate on Article 370. It is not his government's intention. It's certainly not on his priorities. It may be a part of the BJP's manifesto, but it's certainly not the priority of the new Narendra Modi government to act on this. He wants to focus solely on reviving the economy, on development, and so therefore these needless controversies could have been done without. And that's why he makes special mention of the fact that we have to convey this to both people within the government and outside. Our intention of bringing about a positive change. He believes that people both inside and outside the government are yet to absorb the enormity of the change, the positive change that has taken place in the mood of the country. Of course, he also focuses on laments the fact that while every other government got 100 days honeymoon period, grace period, his was not even afforded or accorded 100 hours. That's debatable. There can be more than one opinion on this, but nonetheless. And then, of course, is the punchline where he refers to the fact, he refers to the emergency and how it's left a mark on his psyche, as well as of many Indians who suffered and who lived through those times. He's spoken of the need to reinforce and strengthen institutions and to safeguard freedom of speech. Indeed, these are commendable. This is a commendable thought, and he deserves credit for that.
Well, absolutely. But even as the Prime Minister there has talked about some of the controversies which were not really part of the BJP government's 30-day period, but perhaps were linked to it nevertheless. At the same time, there are several controversies that have dogged this government. Prominent amongst them, of course, is the most recent one of former Solicitor General Gopal Subramaniam, with the former Solicitor General suggesting that the signs are ominous.
There are some things which they could have done without. Perhaps the Gopal Subramaniam matter could have been dealt with a lot more deftly. When you are in government, you need to be able to display a certain amount of statecraft. Perhaps this controversy over the Delhi University 4-year versus 3-year system could have been handled better. So but these are early days for the government, and you have to give them a certain amount of grace period. But if there has to be a honest stock taking, then certainly both you get credit for the hits and a bit of flack for the misses.
All right, just want to quote some of the interesting comments that Prime Minister Modi has made in that blog, saying every new government has something that media likes to call the honeymoon period. Not unexpectedly, I did not have any such luxury. Forget 100 days. The series of allegations began in less than 100 hours. That's the first blog of Prime Minister Modi, this after 30 days in power. Javed Ansari, we leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us.